Is Wednesday, and it is the 7th of November. It is the 7th of November, and we are going to do a 3-card tarot card reading for you using the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck. So I'll do an intuitive reading, and then at the end we will discuss what the cards mean in the way of the tarot. Okay, so the first card that we pulled up is the Ace of Wands. And for me, usually when I read the Ace of Wands, I feel like it is Spirit trying to connect and trying to stake a claim in your life. Maybe at this time you're feeling a little detached or separated from your sense of spirituality, and you're looking for which direction you should be moving in. Pardon me, it's the 6th of November. You are looking for which direction you should be moving in. And sometimes we feel like it's really exciting to, map out on this new terrain and start to figure out where we should be going. But sometimes when we lose our way on our path, it's good to recognize that we do have spirit guides and ascended masters, loved ones, and ancestors, angels, whatever higher power or higher consciousness you connect to. It's a good time to kind of, reflect on your relationship with that, energy, and ask for assistance, ask for guidance. If you don't know which way you're supposed to be moving in, pray on it. Write down a list of pros and cons, starting with maybe the most obvious things, any kind of red flags that you might be seeing, any kind of doubts, any kind of hesitations, even if you think they're too small. So Spirit is trying to stake a claim in your life and trying to let you know that they are here to guide you and protect you and see you out, see you through on your path. And also, whenever I read the tarot and I see like a small landscape and a big personality, whether it's like a major arcana card where you're seeing a big person and a small landscape, I always say pay attention to that when you're looking at the card. Here you see the image of this hand holding the wand, staking itself down. You see this beautiful light around the energy of the hand. It's the right hand, so that is the giving hand. So they are giving guidance, giving advice, giving knowledge, offering insight. The landscape is small, so probably the perspective that you have on this all alone is maybe a small amount of mental clarity. So it is good that you kind of listen inward and reflect, meditate. I always say there's a difference between meditating and praying. Meditating is when you're listening. Praying is when you're doing the talking. So maybe this one would require both, praying on it and meditating on it, doing some talking, connecting, linking up that connection to this loved one, this spirit guide, and then listening to whatever it is that you're supposed to be hearing. I know for me, whenever I'm looking for some insight from Spirit, I get the information like a download. Sometimes I'll be talking like in my tarot card readings or out loud to a friend of mine, and I hear myself speaking and I'm thinking to myself, this is not coming from me. This is definitely coming from a higher power. These are not words that I would use. Maybe I wouldn't really try and articulate what I was saying, and maybe even my pronunciation of words change, my vocabulary changes, the dynamic of how I'm speaking changes. So I would say, like, pay attention to even that, in a sense of maybe channeling a message from Spirit and not even realizing that it's not your own thoughts. The second card that I pulled is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles, for me, spiritually, is about going to someone who doesn't always have all the answers, kind of like tapping into the energy of someone who is, just starting on their own path, maybe beginning, because a lot of times I say, and I've said it often in our readings before, that it's really important to recognize how powerful it is to be a beginner on your path. A lot of people feel the need to have experience and to be this person who's been, reading the tarot for 20 years or working in a crystal shop for 40 years. The fact of that is, yes, with that comes experience, and that's great, but sometimes when you meet a beginner on your path, there's like that raw talent that you're tapping into where they're just so divinely intuitive that you're getting to hear insight from someone who hasn't been tainted. You know, someone hasn't told them that our spiritual world can often be a bit competitive or hypocritical or egotistical. So I think it's really important that we listen to people on our path that tend to think of themselves as beginners or apprentices or, you know, that are young at it. Not young in years, but just young at this path, right? Because I think we get something from everyone. It's like if you practice yoga and you have a favorite yoga teacher and you go to your favorite class and you're all excited, you're going to see your favorite teacher, and in walks the substitute and you're like, oh no, what am I going to get from this person? And you have like one of the best classes you've ever had in your life because you wind up getting something from someone that you wouldn't normally have had on your path because you're going to the same class all the time. So I would say take something from every experience that you encounter because there is really something very fortunate in being around people who don't know as much as you. It is also very fortunate to be with people who are smarter than you and more intelligent than you and that know more than you. I think we could take something from everyone. And the third card, wow, this is pretty profound. The third card is the Ace of Cups. So yet again, here is Spirit trying to connect with you now on an emotional level. So first, Spirit is trying to connect with you on a physical level and on an ethereal level. And now Spirit is trying to connect with you on an emotional level. Maybe you've been feeling like your world has been upside down. Your feelings and emotions have been all over. I mean, we are in the moon sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign, so it tends to be an emotional sign. But Spirit is here to help you sort through whatever feelings you've been holding on to. If you have some old emotional pain that hasn't really been brought to the surface, or it tried to come to the surface and you tried to push it back down because you weren't ready to deal with it, now is the time to get ready. As we move in towards the end of the week, we're moving towards the full moon. So full moon is all about releasing, right? So releasing what doesn't serve you. So here we are in the sun sign of Scorpio, which is emotional, and then we're moving into the full moon, which is also emotional. So Spirit is here to connect with you, to tell you, look, I'm here to help you. I want to be an emotional support. Lean on me. You know, the thing about Spirit and angels are, unless it's an emergency, I feel, I mean, I'm not the end all be all because obviously I'm in the human body still. But I feel like with Spirit, they won't really interfere. They need to be asked. They need to kind of hear you say, you know, dear guides, dear guardians, dear angels, please assist me in my need at this time. Like when I'm doing like a clearing of some sort, I will say to the Ascended Masters, please remove all negative energy from this space. Fill it with love, fill it with light, fill it with great health, abundance, assist me at my time of need. So I tap into the connection or the bond that I have with Spirit so that they know that I need them to be in my life and they're not interfering with our everyday dealings and our everyday work. So, okay, this is the first card that we pulled, and this is the Ace of Wands in forward facing. This card is all about new beginnings, new opportunities, new direction that you're moving in. And taking advantage of that opportunity to the fullest. The second card that we pulled is the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is about, you know, you needing to ask for help. It could even be help in the way of finances or work and so on. And then the third card is the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is about finding a new beginning to release some trapped emotions and feel a sense of security in everything that you've been going through so that you can accept where you are on an emotional level, find a new beginning within that, and start to move forward. Okay, so I want to just thank our YouTube community for joining us this evening. I'm sorry that I mentioned that it was the wrong date, but it is Wednesday, November 6th. I thank you. You could always catch us on Instagram, which is Breathe Inspiring Gifts.